You think hunger is missing lunch. A Roman legionary knew. Hunger is when you're left with a sack of rotten spelt for 3 weeks, and ahead lie mountains, snow, and barbarians who've burned your supply trains. 8,000 men, 30 kilometers a day, and 0 food. A week, 2, 3, they ate leather belts, boiled grass, chewed bark, and when that was all gone, they ate things that would turn your stomach. How did Rome feed its army when there was no food? The answer will make you look at your refrigerator differently. The Roman army was a machine, but even a machine broke down when the amphory of grain burst. Enemies burned the fields, roads washed away, supply trains sank in the mud, and then came the moment that separated the legion from a band of armed men. 30 days without proper food, 30 days when every bite became a matter of life and death. And today you'll learn what was in the Roman emergency rations, and why legionaries survived where other armies crumbled to dust. For starters, forget about rations. On campaign, each soldier carried a sarcina bag, 30 kilograms of equipment. Of that, food was 13 kilograms per man. That was enough for 3 weeks, if you economized, but 3 weeks was the maximum, and campaigns lasted for months. What was in the bag? Wheat, not bread, grain. 1,200 grams of grain per day per person. You ground it in a hand mill, a small, iron one that you carried with you. Then you mixed it with water and baked a Poni's militarist flatbread over coals. Hard as a shoe sole, but filling. Second, bucellatum, a biscuit, twice-baked bread that didn't spoil for years. Hard as a rock. Before eating, it was soaked in water, vinegar, or wine, or smashed with a rock and boiled in a soup. 1 biscuit was 200 grams dry weight. 8 biscuits a week. Third was laridum, salted pork fat, smoked, tough, fatty. Without it, you'd die in a month. Not from hunger, but from a lack of fat and salt. 20 grams of lard a day. You fried it with flatbread, or ate it raw when there was no time to light a fire. That's it. That was the standard ration. 1,600 calories a day. Enough to keep you alive, but not enough to build muscle. The legionnaires were lean, vigorous, always hungry. But that's when there was food. And when there wasn't, step 1, you have some biscuits left. You eat half a biscuit a day instead of 2. Your comrades do the same. 8,000 men stretch their supplies to 30 days. You're losing weight. You're angry. You dream of bread. Step 2, the biscuits are gone. All that's left is grain. You cook a stew with just water and a handful of flour, thin as a tear. You add any herb you can find. Nettles, dandelions, bark. You eat snails. You catch mice. You're not squeamish about anything. Step 3. The grain is gone. All that's left is lard. You eat lard with a spoon, straight from the can. You rub fat into bread that isn't there. You lick your fingers. You'd kill for a piece of meat, but there's no meat. All around you is a forest, but you can't shoot game. The sound of a gunshot, yes. The Romans knew horns, but not bows. For that matter, would give away your camp to the enemy. You look at your horse. You think of it as a stake, but a horse is for battle. You don't touch the horse. Step 4. You're out of lard. You eat your leather belt. You boil it in water for 6 hours. It softens. It becomes like jelly, tasteless, smelly, but it contains collagen. Collagen is energy. You chew the belt. You chew your sandals. You chew your sword sheath. Step 5. You're out of belts. You eat tree bark. The inner layer, the cambium, is chewable. It contains sugar, not much, but enough to keep you from fainting on the march. You gather acorns. You soak them in water to wash out the tannin. You dry them. You grind them into flour. Acorn bread tastes bitter, but it fills the stomach. Step 6. It's all over. The forest is gone. The bark is gone. The acorns are gone. Only the earth remains. And then the legionnaires ate terra sigillata, a special clay. Yes, you heard right. Clay. It was dug from the hillsides, where the clay was rich, high in minerals. They dried it, crushed it into dust, mixed it with water, and drank the slurry. It didn't provide calories, but it created the illusion of satiety, and it stopped the diarrhea that killed soldiers faster than starvation. And now, the stakes. What if you refuse to eat the clay? What if you steal someone else's biscuit? The centurion will notice. You've lost weight too quickly. You're looking at someone else's bag. You're caught. Punishment. Frementum castrense. Your rations are cut in half for a week, or you're reassigned to the dirtiest work, cleaning latrines while the rest are marching. You starve more than anyone else. Rome doesn't feed the weak. If you loot, rob local peasants, robbing them of their last food. You can be executed. Rome fights armies, not civilians. Looting undermines discipline. Discipline is Rome. Looting means death. If you abandon formation because you can't keep up, you're demoted to miles routes. You haul stones. You clean latrines. You eat scraps. You're no longer a soldier. But there's something more terrible than punishment. Your comrades. If you're weak, they carry your burden. If you fall, they carry you. But if you're constantly weak, constantly begging for food, constantly lagging behind, they'll abandon you. Not because they're cruel, because it's the legion that must survive. Not just one man. You become a burden, and burdens are abandoned on the road. Compare this with Alexander's army. The Macedonians didn't have a clear food system. They lived by plunder. When there was no one to plunder, they ate horses, dogs, and then each other. Yes, historians write about cannibalism in Alexander's army after the Indian campaign. The Romans didn't eat people. Never. It was the law. Humanum carnem non mangiare. You'll die, but you won't become a cannibal, because after that, you're no longer a soldier. You're a beast, and Rome exterminates beasts, or medieval armies. Knights carried live cows with them. When they ran out of cows, they abandoned the siege and left, or died. No system, no emergency rations, just luck. The Romans came up with a system. Clay, acorns, bark, leather straps. They knew what they could eat and what they couldn't. They knew mushrooms were deadly. They knew raw meat was dysentery. They knew that starvation occurred after 30 days without food, but after 3 days without water. And they always sought water first. And here's the big secret you've been waiting for. What did Roman soldiers eat when they ran out of food? They ate a system, not food. System, order, discipline, cues. Everyone got their share. Everyone knew tomorrow could be worse. And everyone saved today to survive tomorrow. No one stole. No one whined. No one broke ranks. Because Rome survived when others died. And Rome is you. So, the answer to the riddle. Belts, clay, acorns, bark, mice, snails, nettles. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, or deader. But the Romans chose the stronger. 30 days of starvation, 8,000 people, not a single case of cannibalism. Because Rome wasn't just an army. Rome was an idea, and an idea doesn't eat human flesh. And now the question I promised. You haven't eaten for 6 hours. You're angry. You're hungry. You could eat a burger. Now imagine. 3 weeks without food. Only bark and clay. It's your turn to clean the toilet. Your friend stole your biscuit. What will you do? Write in the comments. How many days could you last without food? But a Roman legionnaire lasted 30, and then he went into battle and won. Subscribe, because in the next video, I'll tell you how Roman soldiers drank water when there was only blood and dirt around. Spoiler, they carried vinegar with them, and it saved millions of lives. Don't miss it.